Hello everyone, welcome to PREMIERMATH. Today we are going to discuss some important math problems on simple interest based on previous year questions. We will be solving these questions using speed matrix. So let's start our session. Our first question is, a sum of rupees 17,200 is lent out at simple interest in two parts for 2 years at 8% and 10% per annum respectively. If the total interest received after 2 years is rupees 3,008, then money lent at 8% rate is. Here you can solve this question in two methods. First one is alligation method. Simple interest received in 2 years is 3,008. Now in 1 year, half of this. Half of 3,000 is 1,500, half of 8 is 4. So this 1,504 is received from this 8% of the sum and 10% of the sum. That is this 8% of 17,200 and 10% of 17,200 constitute this 1,504. 10% of sum is 1,720. And 1% is 172. So 8% is equal to 8 into 172, which is equal to 8 into 2, 16, 8 into 7, 56, plus 1, 57, 8 into 1 plus 5, 13. So 8% of sum is 1376. Now use the alligation method. Difference between 1720 and 1504 is equal to 1720 minus 1500 is equal to 220. 220 minus 4 is equal to 216. Now, take the difference between 1376 and 1504. Here, 14 minus 6 is equal to 8, 9 minus 7 is equal to 2, 14 minus 13 is equal to 1. So, here, 216 part plus 128 part is equal to 8 plus 6, 14, 2 plus 2, 4, 1 plus 2, 3. So, this 344 part is equal to total sum 17,200. 172 goes 2 times in 344. So 2 part is equal to 100. So we have to find out what is 216 part. That is sum lent at 8% is equal to 216 part. So here 2 part is 100 means if you take half of 216 which is 108. So 216 part is equal to 108 into 100. That is 10,800. Option 4 is your answer. That is just multiply 216 with 50. Simple interest on a certain sum is 1/4 of the sum and interest rate percentage is 4 times the number of years. If the rate of interest increases by 2%, then what will be the simple interest on rupees 5,000 for 3 years? Here, simple interest is 1/4 of the sum means 1/4 means 25%. That is, simple interest is equal to 25% of sum. Now this 25% is earned at a rate of R percentage for T number of years. Now here rate percentage is 4 times the number of years. That is R is equal to 4 times number of years. R is equal to 14. Now we have to find out what is rate here. Now write T in terms of R. That is here T from this is equal to T is equal to R by 4. So write T as R by 4. Now this will become R square by 4 is equal to 25%. So R square is equal to 25% into 4, 100% means R is equal to 10%. If old rate is 10%, here R increases by 2%. Now 10 plus 2. R increases by 2% means 10 plus 2. New rate is equal to 12%. New rate is 12%. And here we need to find what is the simple interest on rupees 5,000 for 3 years. Now, for 1 year, interest earned is equal to 12%. At new rate, interest earned on this 5,000 is 12% for 1 year. Now 10% of 5,000 is 500, 1% is 50. Then 12% is 12 into 50, that is 600 rupees. That is here 600 rupees earned on 1 year. 1 year. Now we need 3 year interest. So 600 into 3, 1800 is the 3 year interest. 3 year interest. So option 4 is your answer. The simple interest on certain sum is 1/8 of the sum. When number of years is equal to the half of the rate percentage per annum, find the simple interest on rupees 15,000 at the same rate for 8 years. Here, simple interest is 1/8 of the sum means 1/8 is 12.5 percentage. That is 1/4 is 25 percentage. Then 1/8 is 12.5 percentage. So here simple interest is 12.5 percentage means if 100 rupees is the sum, 12.5 rupees is the simple interest generated at the end of 1 year. So this 12.5 rupees generated at R rate for T years. That is, here number of years is equal to half of the rate percentage. T is equal to R by 2. Then substitute T. That is, T is equal to R by 2 here. So here R square by 2 is equal to 12.5 means R square is equal to 25. Then R is equal to 5. R is equal to 5 percentage means for 1 year 5 percentage is the rate. Then for 8 years 8 into 5 40 percentage is the rate. So simple interest for 8 years is equal to 40 percentage of the sum 15,000. Now percentage and 00 cancel. 15 into 4 is equal to 60. 6,000 is the interest generated for 8 years. Option 3 is your answer. On simple interest, a certain sum becomes 59,200 in 6 years and 72,000 in 10 years. If the rate of interest had been 2% more, then in how many years would the sum have become 76,000? Here, difference between 10 years and 6 years is equal to 4 years. And if you take the difference between 10 years sum and 6 years sum, you will get the interest received in 4 years, which is equal to 1000 minus 200 is 800, 71 minus 59 is 12. So interest received in 4 years is 12,800. Then interest received in 1 year is equal to 4 goes 3 times in 12, 4 goes 2 times in 8. So interest received in 1 year is equal to 3,200. Then calculate interest received in 6 years, which is equal to 6 into 3,200, which is 6 into 3, 18, 6 into 2, 12. So 19,200 is the interest received in 6 years. Now sum in 6 years is 59,200. So subtract the interest received in 6 years from it. Then you will get this initial sum, which is equal to 40,000. So this is the initial sum. So sum is equal to 40,000 and interest in 1 year is equal to 3,200, which means here 10% of 40,000 is 4,000, 1% is 400. So 400 into 8 is equal to 3,200, which means 8% of 40,000 is 3,200. So rate here is equal to 8%. Now, if the interest rate had been increased to 2% more, then new rate will become 8 plus 2, 10%. Then we have to find in how many years sum will become 76,000. Here we have to find out in how many years 40,000 will become 76,000. Here difference is equal to 36,000. So here 10% of 40,000 is 4,000. Then 4,000 into 9 is equal to 36,000, which means in 9 years, sum will become 76,000. So option 2 is your answer. If Seema invests 17,650 in an account that yields 8.5% per annum simple interest, then how much will she have after 5 years? Here, in 1 year, 8.5% is the simple interest. So in 5 years, 8.5 into 5, 8 into 5, 40, 5 into 5, 25. So in 5 years, simple interest is 42.5% of the sum. So here, 10% is equal to 10% of 17,650 is equal to 1765. Then 40% is equal to 1765 into 4. 5 into 4, 20. 6 into 4, 24 plus 2, 26. 7 into 4, 28 plus 2, 30. 4 into 1 plus 3, 7. So 40% is 7060. Now we need 2.5%. So 2.5% means 10 by 4 is 2.5%. So 1765 divided by 4 is equal to 2.5%. 4 goes 4 times in 17, remaining 16. 4 goes 4 times in 16, remaining 5. 4 goes 1 time in 5, remaining 0.25. Now, amount generated after 5 years is equal to sum 17,650 plus 40% is equal to 7060 and 2.5% is equal to 441. Ignore 0.25 because we can take nearest value. Now this one is equal to 1, 6 plus 4 plus 5, 5, 6 plus 4 plus 1, 1, 17 plus 7 plus 1, 25. So 25,151, option 1 is your answer. A certain amount, simple interest become 49,600 in 3 years and 56,000 in 5 years. If the rate of interest had been 2% more, in how many years would the sum have doubled? Here difference between this 3-year sum and 5-year sum is equal to 400 plus 6,000, that is 6,400. And the 6,400 generated in 5 minus 3, 2 years. So in 2 years, extra amount generated is the interest generated. So in 2 years, interest generated is equal to 6,400. Then in 1 year, interest generated is 3,200. Then calculate the interest generated for 3 years. So for 3 years, interest generated is equal to 3,200 into 3, that is 9,600. And here you can see out of this 49,600, that is 3 years sum, 9,600 is the interest generated and remaining 40,000 is the principal. That is, here principal is equal to 40,000 and interest for 1 year is equal to, that is interest is equal to 3,200. Then here 10% of 40,000 is 400. 400 into 8 is equal to 3,200. So interest is equal to 8% for 1 year. Now, question says if the interest increased to 2% more, then in how many years the sum would have been doubled? That is, here interest increased to 2% more. That is, new interest is equal to 8 plus 2, 10%. Here sum is equal to P. So this P will become 2P in Y year at the rate of 10% per annum. That is, here Y is equal to 10 years. Here 40,000 is the principal. Now this 40,000 will double to 80,000. I can see increment is 40,000. This increment 40,000 is the interest generated. And in 1 year at 10% per annum, interest generated is 4,000. That is 10% of 40,000 is 4,000. So interest generated in 1 year is equal to 4,000. So 40,000 by 4,000 is equal to 10 years. That is, in 10 years, 40,000 interest generated. So your answer is 10 years. In how many years will the simple interest on a sum of money be equal to the principal at the rate of 2 into 6 by 7% per annum? Here we need to find out in how many years simple interest become principal. That is, amount become 2 times the principal in Y years at the rate of 2 into 6 by 7%. The rate is equal to 2 into 6 by 7% means 7 into 2, 14, 14 plus 6, 20. So 20 by 7% is the rate. So 20 by 7% means by 100. So here 2 goes 35 times in 70 means Y is equal to 35 years. Option 1 is your answer. That is, whenever you have a question relating to simple interest or whenever question says amount is 2 times the principal, then take the rate. Here rate is equal to 20 by 7%. 20 by 7%. Now this 700 part is the principal and this 20 part is the interest generated out of the 700 part in 1 year. Now question says simple interest is equal to the principal, which means this 20 part should be equal to 700 in 35 years. 20 into 35 is 700. Now you can see here equal, numerator equal and denominator equal. That is, here when you multiply 20 with 35, numerator equal to denominator, which means 35 years. So in this way you can also calculate just by using the rate. Reshma took a loan of rupees 12 lakh with simple interest for as many years as rate of interest. She paid rupees 9,72,000 as interest at the end of the loan period. What was the rate of interest per annum? Here take the ratio of principal and total interest. 0, 0 cancel. 12 goes 8 times in 96. Remaining 12. 12 goes 1 times in 12. So this is like 100 part principal and total 81 part interest. So total 81 part interest generated out of this 100 part principal. Now 81 part interest means this interest is generated for T years at the rate of R% interest. Now here number of years and rate of interest is same. That is time period is same as rate of interest. Which means here we need rate of interest. So I'll write this T into R as R square. Because T is equal to R. So R square is equal to 81 means R is equal to root of 81, that is 9. 9%. Option 4 is your answer. An amount become double in 7 years on simple interest. The amount would be 4 times in dash years on the same rate of simple interest. Here consider amount as P. Now this amount will become 2 times the amount in 7 years. Now the difference generated is the simple interest. So simple interest here is equal to 2P minus P, P. Now this simple interest generated in 7 years at R% rate, and the same sum will become 4 times the sum in certain years. So P become 4P in certain years. Now the simple interest generated is equal to 4P minus P, 3P. So the simple interest generated in T years at same rate. Rate is equal to, here from this rate is equal to P by 7. So this 3P generated in T years at P by 7 rate. Now P and P cancel. T is equal to 7 into 3, 21 years. So option 3 is your answer. A sum of rupees 17,200 is lent out at simple interest in 2 parts for 2 years at 8% and 10% per annum respectively. If the total interest received after 2 years is rupees 3,008, then money lent at 8% rate is. Here in 2 years simple interest received is 3,008. Then in 1 year simple interest received is half of this. Half of 3,000, 1,500, half of 8, 4. So 1,504 is the simple interest received in 1 year. Now this sum 17,200 lent out in 2 parts. One part at 8% and other part at 10%. 8 plus 2 is 10. Consider some lent at 8% as X and some lent at 10% as Y. Now 8% is common here. That is, here if you take 8% of X and 8% of Y, which is equal to 8% of X plus Y. Here X plus Y is equal to 17,200. So take 8% of sum 17,200. 00 and percentage cancel. 8 into 172. 8 into 2 16. 8 into 7 56 plus 1 57. 8 into 1 plus 5 13. So if you subtract this 1376 from 1504, which is equal to 2% of Y. That is, here this 1504 is 8% of X plus 8% of Y plus 2% of Y. That is 1504 is equal to 8% of X plus Y plus 2% of Y. Now 8% of X plus Y means 1376. So subtract it from 1504. You will get 2% of Y. So this is equal to 14 minus 6 is 8. 9 minus 7 is 2. 14 minus 13 is 1. So 2% of Y is equal to 128 means, here 2% is 128 means 1 percentage is 64. Then 100% of y is equal to y, which is equal to 6400. Then we need x here. X is equal to difference between 17,200 and 6,400. 17,200 minus 6,000 is equal to 11,200. 11,200 minus 400 is equal to 10,800. So here sum length at 8% is equal to x, which is 10,800. Option 4 is your answer. Anil lent a sum of rupees 5,000 on simple interest for 10 years in such a way that rate of interest is 6% per annum for the first 2 years, 8% per annum for the next 2 years, and 10% per annum beyond 4 years. How much interest will he earn at the end of 10 years? Here total principal is equal to 5,000 rupees. Now, total years is 10 years, and for the first 2 years he lent it at 6% per annum, and for the next 2 years he lent it at 8% per annum, and beyond 4 years, that is after 4 years, he lent it at 10% per annum. That is beyond 4 years means 10 minus 4. For the next 6 years he lent it at 10% per annum. So total interest is for 1 year at 6% means 2 years it is 2 into 6, 12%. So 2 into 8, 16%. Here 6 into 10, 60%. So total interest is 60 plus 28, 88%. This is the total interest he received in 10 years from this 5,000 rupees. Now 88% of 5,000 means subtract 12% from this 5,000. 5,000 means 100%. So to find 88% of 5,000, subtract 12%. 10% of 5,000 is 500. 1% is 50. Then 12% is equal to 12 into 50, 600 rupees. So 88% is equal to 4,400 rupees. Option 2 is your answer. That is, at the end of 10 years, he will receive 4,400 as the interest on this 5,000 rupees sum. That is 88% of 5,000 is 4,400 rupees. The simple interest on rupees 2,800 at a rate of 10% per annum for 3 years is rupees x. Then 1,736 is the simple interest on rupees 6,200 at a rate of 14% for y years. Then the value of x by y is. Here x is the simple interest on principal 2,800. So x is equal to, for 1 year rate is 10%, and for 3 years rate is equal to 3 into 10, 30%. So 30% of principal 2,800 is the simple interest x. Percentage and 00 cancel. Now, here 1,736 is the simple interest earned on principal 6,200. And this is for 14% for y years. For 1 year rate is 14%, then for y years rate is equal to 14% of y. So 14% of y on the principal 6,200 as 1,736. Here percentage and 00 cancel. 14 goes 1 time in 17, 2 times in 28, and 4 times in 56. 62 goes 2 times in 124. So y is equal to 2 years. Now x by y ratio is equal to 30 into 28 divided by 2. 2 goes 14 times in 28. Now 14 into 3 is 42. So 420 is the ratio of x by y. Option 4 is. The difference between compound interest compounded annually and simple interest on a certain sum at a rate of 15% per annum for 2 years is rupees 1944. Find the compound interest compounded annually on same sum for same period at rate of 10% per annum. Here, use the successive increment formula, that is, here compound interest for 2 years at the rate of 15% per annum means a plus b by ab by 100. Use it. That is 15 plus 15 plus 15 into 15 divided by 100 is the compound interest for 2 years at 15% per annum. Now you can see simple interest means 15 plus 15. 30% is the simple interest for 2 years. Now the remaining is the difference between compound interest and simple interest. That is, here difference is 225 by 100 means 2.25 percentage. So here difference is given as 1944. If 2.25 percentage is 1944, then we need compound interest for 10 percentage per annum for 2 years at the rate of 10 percentage means 10 plus 10 plus 10 into 10 by 100, that is 21 percentage. Is the compound interest for 2 years at 10 percentage per annum, which is equal to, if 2.25 percentage is 1944, then 21 percentage is 1944 divided by 2.25 into 21. Now this is equal to, here if I divide it with 9, this will become, if I add this 0.25, to remove this 0.25, I'll add 2 zeros here. So this will become 9 goes 2 times in 22, remaining 4, 9 goes 5 times in 45. Now here 9 goes 2 times in 19, remaining 1, 9 goes 1 time in 14, remaining 5, 9 goes 6 times in 54. Now 25 goes 4 times in 100, which means you can see 21 into 4 is 84. 21 into 4 is 84. Now 216 into 84. 6 into 4 is 24. Unit digit is 4. Unit digit is 4 means here unit digit is 4 in option 3. So option 3 is your answer. Don't go for the calculation. Just find the value by approximation or by digital sum or by unit digit. Prakash lends a part of 20,000 rupees at 8% simple interest and remaining at 4/3% simple interest. His total income after a year was rupees 800. Find the sum lent at 8%. Here alligation is the best method for these types of problem. The total money lent is 20,000 and part of this 20,000 lent at 8% simple interest and other part lent at 4/3% simple interest. So write 8% and 4/3% on LHS and RHS respectively. Now income after a year was rupees 800. So this 800 is received from this 8% and 4/3% respectively. So write 800 in the middle. Now this 8 and 4/3 in percentage format. So we should find the percentage form of this 800. This 800 is received from this total 20,000 rupees. So 800 out of 20,000 is 0 cancel, 0 cancel, 8/2 is 4%. So 800 is 4% of 20,000. So write 4% in the middle. Now you can see this 8% simple interest and 4/3% simple interest constitute this 4%. Now take the difference, that is difference between 8 and 4 is 4%, difference between 4/3 and 4 is 8/3%. That is 4 minus 4/3 is 3 into 4 12, 12 minus 4 is 8, so 8/3. Now if you take the ratio of 8/3 and 4%, percentage cancel, 4 goes 2 times in 8, that is 2/3 is to 1. That means 2:3 is the ratio. So sum lent at 8% is 2 part and sum lent at 4/3% is 3 part. Now sum lent at 8%, we need to find it. Here total part is 2 plus 3, 5 part. This 5 part is this 20,000 rupees. Now 5 goes 4 times in 20. That is 1 part is equal to 4,000. Now sum lent at 8% is equal to 2 part. 2 part. So 2 part is equal to 2 into 4,000, which is equal to 8,000. Or you can find 2/5 into 20k. This is also 8k. Because 2 part out of 5 part. 2 part is the money lent at 8%. Total part is 2 plus 3, 5 part, which is in 20,000 rupees. So, which is converted into 20,000 rupees is 8,000. So, option A is your answer. A sum of rupees 4,000 is lent out in 2 parts. One at 8% simple interest and the other at 10% simple interest. If the annual interest is rupees 352, the sum lent at 8% is. Here, allocation is the best method for these types of problem. Total money is 4,000 and one part of 4,000 is lent at 8% and other part lent at 10%. So, one part lent at 8% and other part lent at 10%. Now, annual interest received is rupees 352. This 352 rupees received from this 8% and 10% sum. Now, 352, I should write it in percentage format because 8 and 10 in percentage format. So, 352 received from this total money 4,000 rupees. So, 352 out of 4,000 is how much percentage? 0 cancel. 4 goes 8 times in 35. Remaining 3, 32 by 4 is 8. So, 88 by 10 is equal to 8.8. So, this is 352 is 8.8% of 4,000. Now, this 8% and 10% constitute this 8.8%. Now, take the difference between 8 and 8.8%, which is equal to 0.8%. Now, take the difference between 10 and 8.8%, which is equal to 1.2%. This is the ratio of money lent at 8% and 10% respectively. Percentage cancel, point and point cancel, remaining is 12 is to 8. Now, 4 goes 3 times in 12, 4 goes 2 times in 8. That means 3 is to 2 is the ratio of sum of money lent at 8% and 10% respectively. Now, we need to find sum lent at 8%. So, sum lent at 8% is equal to 3 parts. 3 parts. So, 3 out of total part is 3 plus 2, 5. And total money is 4,000. Now, 3 by 5 of 4,000. 5 goes 8 times in 40. So, 3 into 800 is 2,400. So, option C is your answer. A sum of rupees 8,000 was lent partly at 7% and partly at 9% simple interest. If total annual interest be rupees 620, the ratio in which money was lent at given rates is. Here we use alligation method. Now, rupees 8,000 was lent partly at 7% and partly at 9%. That is, one part of 8,000 lent at 7% and other part lent at 9%. Now, total annual interest is 620 means this 620 is received from the 7% and 9% of 8,000. That is, the 7% and 9% constitute the 620. But here 7 and 9 are in percentage format. So, I should write the 620 in percentage format as well. This 620 is received from total 8,000 rupees. So, 620 out of 8,000 in percentage is equal to 0 cancel. 62 by 8 is equal to 31 by 4. So, the 620 is 31 by 4%. Write it in the middle. Now, to cancel this 4, I will multiply it with 4. Then I should multiply 7 and 9% with 4. Now, this is 28%. This is 36% and this is 31%. Now take the difference between left hand side and middle, which is equal to 31 minus 28, 3%. And here, if you take the difference between 31 and 36, 36 minus 31 is 5%. So 5% is to 3% means 5 is to 3 is your answer. So option A is your answer. If you want to do it in another method, here 8,000 is the total money and one part lent at 7% and other part lent at 9%. I will write it at 7% plus 2%. Now 7% of principal 8,000 is equal to percentage and 00 cancel. 7 into 80 is equal to 560. But 7% of interest is equal to 560. But here annual interest is 620. So, difference between 620 and 560 is equal to 60. This 60 is received from this 2%. This 2% is the extra 60 rupees. So, if 2% is 60, 1% is 30. That means 100% is the sum, that is 100% is equal to 30 into 100, that is 3000. That means this 3000 is the 9% part. So sum is 3000. One part is lent is 3000 rupees. Then 8000 minus 3000 is the other part, which is equal to 5000 rupees. If you take the ratio between 5000 and 3000, which is equal to 5:3. So in this way, you can also find the answer. Some amount out of rupees 7000 was lent at 6% per annum and the remaining at 4% per annum. If the total simple interest from both the fractions in 5 years was rupees 1600, then sum lent at 6% was. Here, one part of the sum lent at 6% and other part of the same sum lent at 4%. We can use alligation method here. Now, simple interest, total simple interest received for 5 years is 1600. Then annual interest is, that is interest for 1 year is equal to 1600 by 5, which is equal to 320. So 320 is the annual interest. I will write it in the middle. Now 6 and 4 are in percentage format. So I should write 320 in percentage format as well. 320 is received from this total sum 7000. So 320 out of 7000 in percentage is equal to 0 cancel. 32 by 7%. So write it in the middle. Now 32 by 7%. Now I want to cancel this 7. So I will multiply it with 7. So I should multiply 6% and 4% with 7 respectively. Now 6 into 7 is 42 and 4 into 7 is 28 and this is 32. Now if I take the difference between left hand side and the middle term, it is equal to 42 minus 32, which is equal to 10. And if you take the difference between 28 and 32, that is 32 minus 28 is 4. So 4% and 10% ratio is 4:10. I will cancel it with 2. Then 2:5 is the ratio. If 2:5 is the ratio, we have to find sum lent at 6%. Here sum lent at 6% is, this is 6%. So sum lent at 6% is 2 part. This 2 part is out of total part is 5 plus 2 7. 2 part out of 7 part. Total sum is 7000. So if you find the 2 part, that is this 2 part is equal to 7 cancel, 2 into 1000, 2000. So option D is your answer. So 2000 is the sum lent at 6%. Then total sum is 7000 means this is 2k and this is 5k. So total sum is 2 plus 5, 7k. Now if you want to do it in different method, here sum lent at 6% and 4% total is 7000. Now one part lent at 6% and other part lent at 4%. So one part lent at 4% and other part lent at 6%. I will write it as 4% plus 2%. Now common is 4% here. 4%. So 4% of 7000. Total sum is 7000, which is equal to percentage and 00 cancel. 7 into 4, 28. So 280 is the 4% of 7000. But here we already know 320. 320 is the annual simple interest. Simple interest for 1 year is 320. But here it is 280. So difference between annual interest 320 and this 280. 4% of 7000 as 320 minus 280 is 40. So here this 40, extra 40. This is extra 40 rupees. This extra 40 is received from this 2% because 4% is 280. But annual interest is 320. So difference between 320 and 280 is equal to 40. So this 40 is this extra 2%. So if 2% is 40 means 1% is 20. Then 100% is 20 into 100, that is 2000. So this 2000 is for this 2% part. That is 2% part constitute this 6%. So sum lent at 6% is equal to 2000 and sum lent at 4% is equal to 7000 minus 2000, that is 5000. So here option D is your answer. Sum lent at 6% is 2000. A sum of rupees 18,750 is left by a will by father to be divided between two sons of 12 years and 14 years of each, so that when they attain maturity at 18 years, the amount, that is principal plus interest, received by each at 5% simple interest will be same. Find the sum allotted at present to each son. Here, this sum 18,750 is divided between two sons of age 12 year and 14 year. When they attain the age of 18 year, they will get the same amount. That is, here 12 plus 6 is 18. So 12-year-old son get 6 years interest, and 14 plus 4 is 18. So 14-year-old son get 4 years interest. Now interest received by the first son is equal to, here 5% is the rate for both the sons. So interest received is equal to 6 into 5, 30%, and interest received by the second son is equal to 4 into 5, 20%. Now you can see amount is equal to principal plus interest. If I consider principal as 100% and amount received by the first son will be 100% plus interest is 30%. That means here when they attain the age of 18 years, amount received by both the sons will be equal. So amount 1 is equal to amount 2. That means here interest is 30%, principal is 100%. So 130% of principal 1 is equal to principal is 100% and interest is 20%. So 120% of the principal 2. Now P1 by P2 is equal to, here 0 and percentage cancel. So this will become 12 by 13. Now 12 plus 13 is 25 parts. This 25 parts is equal to 18,750 in the question, because principal for the first son and second son will be equal to 18,750. Now 25 goes 7 times in 187, remaining is 12. So 25 goes 5 times in 125, remaining is 0. So 1 part is equal to 750 means 12 parts is equal to 12 into 750. 750 into 10 is equal to 7500. 750 into 2 is equal to 1500. So 7500 plus 1500 is equal to 9000. Then 13 part is equal to 13 into 750, which is equal to 9000 plus 750, 9750. So option C is your answer. A sum of rupees 2600 is lent out in two parts in such a way that interest on one part at 10% for 5 years is equal to that on another part at 9% for 6 years. The sum lent out at 10% is. Here let us consider sum lent at two parts as P1 and P2. Now interest on 5 years is equal to interest on 6 years. So 5 years interest is equal to 5 into 10%, that is equal to 50%, which is equal to 6 years interest. That is 6 into 9% is equal to 54%. Now 50% of principal 1 is equal to 54% of principal 2. If I cancel percentage and percentage, and if I divide it with 2, 2 goes 25 times in 50 and 2 goes 27 times in 54. Now principal 1 by principal 2 is equal to 27 by 25. If I add these two parts, 27 plus 25 is equal to 52 parts. This 52 parts is equal to total sum 2600. Now 26 goes 2 times in 52, 2 goes 50 times in 100. That is 1 part is equal to 50 means here we need to find out sum lent out at 10%. Here sum lent out at 10% is equal to P1. So P1 is equal to 27 parts, which is equal to 27 into 50. 25 into 5 is equal to 125. 27 into 5 is equal to 135. So 1350. Option C is your answer. Rupees 800 amounts to rupees 920 in 3 years at simple interest. If the interest rate is increased by 3%, it would amount to how much? Here, we don't have to find out the current rate. If the current rate is R percentage, 800 rupees with the R percentage amounts to rupees 920 in 3 years. But here rate increased by 3%. That is, now the rate is R plus 3%. And this R plus 3% is for 3 years. That means we have to add this 3% for 3 years. That is 9% of this 800 to current amount. Here increment in rate for 3 years is equal to 3 into 3, 9%. And this 9% is for this 800 rupees. That is principal. Now 00 and percentage get cancelled. 9 into 8 is equal to 72 rupees. So this 72 rupees is the new interest added because of this 3% rate increment for 3 years. So the new amount is equal to current amount is 920 and 72 rupees. New interest added is 72 rupees. So total become 992. Option A is your answer. If you have difficulties in understanding this, here 800 is the principal and interest received for R percentage for 3 years is equal to 920. So this is the current amount. Now here increment in rate is equal to 3% for 3 years. Here already 3 years is written. So R plus 3 3% is the new increment in rate for 3 years. That means here we need to add extra interest for this 3% for 3 years. That is, I will add this as extra as interest for 9%. Interest for 9%, which is equal to 920 plus interest for 9% is 9% of 800. So which is equal to 920 plus 72, 992. So option A is your answer. In what time does the sum of money become 4 times at the simple interest rate of 10% per annum? If I invest 1 unit in the bank, after some years, I will get 4 times the initial amount. That is, I will receive 4 unit after some years. Now here the difference is 3 unit. This 3 unit I received in Y years at a rate of 10% per annum. Now 0 cancel. Y is equal to number of years is equal to 3 into 10, 30 years. So option B is your answer. Or you can solve this way. That is, I invested 100 rupees in the bank. After some years, I got 4 times the initial amount. That is 400 rupees. Now the difference between the amount I received and amount invested is equal to 400 minus 100. That is 300 rupees. So this 300 rupees is the interest I received in some years. Now this 300 rupees I received at the rate of 10% per annum. So per year 10% per annum I received this 300 rupees. That means 30 years is the time duration here. Simple interest on a sum of money is 9 by 16 of the sum. If the rate is 9 by 2 per annum, find the time. Let us consider sum as 100 rupees. That means interest is equal to 9 by 16 of the sum. So 9 by 16 into 100 is 900 by 16. Now interest is 900 by 16 means this interest 900 by 16 is formed by T years at a rate of 9 by 2 per annum because the rate is 9 by 2. Here percentage symbol is not given, so you don't have to worry about divided by 100 here. Also, we already taken sum as 100 here. In that case, you can ignore divided by 100 in this rate here. Now, for 1 year, 9 by 2 is the rate. For T years, T into 9 by 2 is the rate. That means T into 9 by 2 is interest 900 by 16. So, 9 and 9 get cancelled. 2 goes 8 times in 16. So 100 by 8 is T. T is equal to 100 by 8 means T is equal to 12.5 years. So option C is your answer. Same way, second question, simple interest on a certain amount is 9 by 16 of the principal. If the numbers representing rate of interest in percent and time in years be equal, then time for which the principal lent out is. Here, let us consider principal as 100 rupees. That means interest is equal to 9 by 16 of the principal. So 9 by 16 into 100 is 900 by 16. So interest is 900 by 16 means this interest 900 by 16 is formed by T years at a rate of T interest. Because rate of interest in percent and time in years are equal. So here time is equal to rate here. And we are representing it with letters. We also take principal as 100 here. So you don't have to worry about the divided by 100 here. Because here time is equal to rate. We are representing it with letters. That is T square. I will write it as T square. Now t square is 900 by 16 means t is equal to 30 divided by 4, which is equal to 7.5 years. So option D is your answer. Choose the most appropriate answer. A and B borrow a total sum of rupees 30,000 from C at 4% per annum for 5 years and at 5% per annum for 4 years respectively. Find out the sum borrowed by A if A's interest is double than that of B's interest. If A's interest is double than that of B's interest means A's sum is double the sum of B, because both are paying 20% of their sum as their interest. Here interest paid by A is for 5 years at the rate of 4% means 5 into 4, 20% of A's sum. And interest paid by B is for 4 years at the rate of 5% per annum means 4 into 5, 20% of B's sum. And A's interest is double than that of B's interest means 20% of A is 2 times 20% of B. That means A is equal to 2B. So if A is equal to 2B means A is 2B, B is B. 2B plus B is 3B is equal to total sum 30,000. Which means 3B is equal to 30,000 means B is equal to 10,000 and A is equal to 20,000. So option B is your answer. Adam borrowed some money at the rate of 6% per annum for first 2 years, at the rate of 9% per annum for next 3 years, and at the rate of 14% per annum for period beyond 5 years. If he pays total interest of rupees 11,400 at the end of 9 years, how much did he borrow? Here we have to find principal. So for the first 2 years, he has to pay 6% per annum. So total interest he paid for the first 2 years is 6% into 2, 12%. For the next 3 years, he paid 9% per annum. For 9% into 3 is total 27% he paid for next 3 years. Now, total number of years is 9 years and period beyond 5 years, he paid 14% per annum. So 9 minus 5, 4 years. So for 4 years, he paid 14% per annum. So total interest he paid is 14 into 4, 56% for the next 4 years. So total number of years, 9 years, he paid total interest 12 plus 27 plus 56. 5 plus 2, 7. 7 plus 1, 8. 7 plus 6, 13. 13 plus 2, 15. So 80 plus 15 is 95%. So for 9 years, he paid 95%. And this 95% is equal to 11,400 because he paid total interest of 11,400. So this 95% is the total interest, which is equal to 11,400. Now we have to find the principal. Principal is 100%. 100% is the sum, that is the principal. If 95% is 11,400, then 100% is 11,400 divided by 95 into 100. Now 5 goes 19 times in 95 and 5 goes 20 times in 100. Then here this digit is 4. If I multiply 19 with 6, 19 into 6 is 114. So 600 into 20, 12,000 rupees is the sum here. That is the principal here. So option B is your answer. Ram deposited a certain sum of money in a bank at 12% per annum simple interest for 4 years and deposited equal amount in fixed deposited in a bank for 5 years at 15% per annum simple interest. If the difference in interest from two sources is rupees 1,350, then the sum deposited in each case is, here he deposited equal amount in two different banks. And in one bank at a rate of 12% for 4 years. That means he deposited an amount of money in a bank for 12% rate for 4 years means he will receive 12 into 4, 48% interest after 4 years. Now in another bank, he deposited equal amount for 5 years at a rate of 15%. So 15% for 5 years is equal to 15 into 5, 75%. So after 5 years, he will get 75% simple interest, 75% simple interest. Now, the difference in interest from two sources is 1,350. Here the difference between 75% and 48% is 27%, which is equal to 1,350. Now, 7 into 5, 35. So 27 goes 5 times in 135. That means 1% is 50, then 100%. That is the sum is 100%. Sum is equal to 50 into 100, 5,000 rupees. So option B is your answer. Simple interest on sum of money is going to be rupees 300 after 5 years. For the next 5 years, principal is tripled. Then the total interest at the end of the 10th year is. Here number of years and rate are same. For the first 5 years, simple interest is 300 rupees. And for the next 5 years, principal is tripled. And number of years and rate are same means simple interest also tripled. That is 3 into 300. 900 is the interest for the next 5 years. So total interest become 300 plus 900, 1200 rupees after 10 years. So option B is your answer. Simple interest on a sum of money is going to be rupees 300 after 4 years. For the next 6 years, principal become 4 times. Then the total interest at the end of the 10th year is. Here years are varying. For the first 4 years, simple interest is 300 rupees for principal P and for the rate R percentage for 4 years. Now, for the next 6 years, we don't know the simple interest, but principal become 4 times. That is P become 4P and rate is same, but the years is 6 years. Now you can see this part is same. That is P into R percentage into 4 is equal to 4P into R percentage, which is equal to 300 rupees. Then simple interest for 6 years is 6 into 300, that is 1800. That means total interest is equal to 1800 plus 300, 2100. So total interest for 10 years is equal to 2100. Option C is your answer. Two equal sums of money were lent at simple interest at 11% per annum for 3.5 years and 4.5 years respectively. If the difference in interest for 2 periods was rupees 412.5, find each sum. Here sum is equal and rate is equal. Only the time period is varying. That is 3.5 years and 4.5 years. So difference between number of years here is equal to 4.5 minus 3.5, that is 1 year. And difference in interest is equal to 412.5. So for 1 year at 11% per annum, interest received is equal to 412.5 because sum and rate are equal. At 11% per annum, for 1 year, interest received is equal to 412.5. 11 goes 3 times in 41. Remaining is 8. 11 goes 7 times in 82. Remaining 5. 11 goes 0.5 times in 5.5. So 1% is equal to 37.5. Then 100% is the sum here. 100% is equal to 37.5 into 100, 3750. So option C is your answer. Now the second question is, a certain sum of money was invested at simple interest for 3 years. If it was invested at rate 7% higher, then the interest have been 882 more. Now you can see, because of the 7% increment in the rate, for 3 years, interest increased 882. That is, by increasing 7% rate for 3 years, interest increased to 882. That means, for 1 year, 7% is the increment in rate. For 3 years, 7 into 3, 21% is the increment in rate. Because of this, interest increased 882. That is, for 3 years at 7% rate, interest received is 882. Then, 100% is the sum here. 7 into 3 is 21. 21 goes 4 times in 88. Remaining is 4. So, 21 goes 2 times in 42. So, 1% is 42 means 100% is the sum. 100% is 42 into 100, 4200. A lent rupees 600 to B for 2 years and rupees 150 to C for 4 years and received altogether from both rupees 90 as interest. Find the rate of interest at simple interest being calculated. Now, A lent to B rupees 600 for 2 years. I will consider it as 600 into 2, 1200 for 1 year. Now, A lent to C rupees 150 for 4 years. I will consider it as 150 into 4 is 600 for 1 year. Now, total principal is 1200 plus 600, that is 1800 for 1 year. Now, this 1800 rupees principal and number of years is 1 year. and he received total 90 rupees as interest from these two, B and C. That is 90 rupees he received for this 1800 principal for 1 year. That is interest is 90, principal is 1800, number of years is 1. Now 90 is how much percentage of 1800? 100 percentage of 1800 is 1800. 10 percentage of 1800 is 180. That means 5 percentage of 1800 is 90. That means rate is here 5 percentage. So option C is your answer. The simple interest on rupees 825 will be less than the interest on rupees 900 at 2% simple interest by 15. Find the time. Here difference in interest between principal 900 rupees at 2% and principal 825 rupees at 2% for same years is 15 rupees. Now 15 rupees is the difference in interest here. This difference in interest is between these two, and this 15 rupees is caused because of the difference in principal amount, because here rate and number of years are same. So the difference in principal amount caused this 15 rupees. Now 900 minus 825 is 75. That means this 15 rupees is received from this 75 rupees. Now 15 is how much percentage of 75? Here 100 percentage of 75 is 75. 10 percentage of 75 is 7.5. Then 20 percentage of 75 is 15 rupees. So 20 percentage of 75 is 15 rupees. But here you can see the rate is 2%. Rate is 2%. If I write this 20% as 10 into 2% of 75 is 15. Now you can see here 10 is extra. This 10 is number of years here, because we don't know the number of years here. So this 2% for 10 years costs this 15 rupees. So option C is your answer.